Hi guys, I'm live. Let me pull up my chat. And then I had so many issues getting this started tonight. Like, what was happening? I don't know what was happening. I hope it's working properly because I had a lot of issues getting here. I don't know why. I don't know why I was having so many issues. I created like I don't know. I don't even know what happened. But I'm here. Hi, Reese. Thank you for joining. Hey, guys. Like I was just saying, I don't know what was happening. I created 2 live streams. I don't know what happened, but this is obviously the live stream, so I don't know what happened. I don't know. So, okay. I got my chat popped out. Okay. I'm here, and I'm ready. So first of all, thank you guys so much. I have like something in my throat. Thank you guys so much for all your sweet messages. I got like an outpouring amount of emails and Instagram messages and comments on the video of just really nice things to say about the buying a house process. After lots of consideration, basically we lost 2 more townhouses. If you can't hear me, refresh. Let me write that in the chat. So basically, after I last talked to you guys, that's kind of why I didn't post anything in the last few days except for my Orlando vlog. I was very upset, and I was kind of just like thinking and just kind of working. So basically, since I last talked to you guys, just to keep you guys updated, because I did decide to share that, so I feel like I want to share the rest of our journey. 2 more townhouses. Unfortunately, one didn't work out because the taxes on it were almost $7,000 for the townhouse. So obviously that didn't work out. So we had to back out of that deal. Then the other one didn't work out just because we had somebody, since Eddie's in construction, somebody went by to kind of do like a look through for the appraisal, and it wasn't going to work out. So what we decided to do now is we're not going to look right now. We're not going to look. First of all, we're in the middle of having a wedding. We're about to be in Q4. I can't take that on right now because as it is this week, I didn't work because I was looking at apartments and looking at townhouses and looking at this. So we decided I literally cannot handle it right now with work. I pretty much have not worked all week long. With the exception of Instagram sales and eBay sales have been on fire. I actually had 11 packages go out today from yesterday to today. So besides shipping and listing and not really sourcing that much and just selling on Instagram, I haven't really worked at all this week, which is tough. So we decided that I can't handle this right now. Eddie can't handle it. Obviously, since I'm the one that has a more flexible job, I'm the one that's been handling that. So he comes like after work and stuff, but I've been taking off too much work, and we're going into Q4. We're planning a wedding. So it's just not going to work out right now, which is perfectly fine because God has a plan, and I firmly believe that. So I'm happy with the decision. I'm really excited because it gives us a chance to really save money and really be prepared, and it just is all for the best. So plus, we live in a nice place, even though I do have complaints, like some funny stories. Actually, one very funny story that happened today. With an angry neighbor that like freaking glued things to the door so people wouldn't be loud. It was a crazy funny story. But anyway, like we live in a good area. We have a good neighborhood, so I'm not upset. I'm really happy with our decision, and I know God has a plan, so I'm not worried. I'm gonna totally get that out of my head, and God has a plan. That's all I can say, and that's all. You know, I'm going to keep working, work my ass off, save as much money as we can, and that will be it. So you just take it day by day. Exactly, Connie. If it's meant to be, I'm just taking it day by day. Like, I'm not going to be going crazy and doing this and not working and just driving myself insane for no reason. Apartment living is frustrating, Reese. It really is. But you know what? At the same time, like, it is what it is. And when I said settling in my other video, I don't think buying a townhouse is settling. What I meant by that is I know that what we want is out there, and I wasn't going to settle, like, because what we want would come up and we would either miss it, not put an offer when it was supposed to be put in, or something like that. So I know what we wanted was out there, and that's what I meant by settling, that we were going to settle for something we didn't like because we couldn't get what we wanted in the moment. So what we want is out there. It's just not the right time. So that's that. That's it. I'm just going to keep working my butt off, making videos. That's why I haven't even been posting videos, because I've been so consumed by this for like the last month. And just going to keep working. I can't deal with this in Q4. I'm getting married freaking the week before Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So that's already crazy enough. So moving forward, just doing what I do, working. So anyway, what I want to talk about today. I get this question so much, you guys. This is probably one of my most asked questions that I get in videos, that I get in emails, that I get in Instagram messages, just that I get overall. And I wasn't ignoring the question, because I don't really ignore questions. I always answer them when the time is right. And I did record last week. I was in the car and I just started talking about it. But I wanted to make a live video on it because I want you guys to be able to ask me questions, whoever's here. Whoever's not here can maybe leave it in the comments. Or maybe somebody in the chat will ask a question that you had if you're watching this not in real time. So I really wanted to film this video live. It was really important to me to film this video live. And this is when I can film it, and this is when I'm going to film it. So, first of all, I don't know how to start this. I had it like all planned in my head, and now I'm like, okay. So yes, if you guys are either new to my channel, you're watching now, if you're in the chat, if you're watching me live, you're probably not new to my channel. You probably watch me consistently. You know that I source high-end designer items. I have a pile of high-end designer stuff right in the background on the rug. I actually have some more stuff I need to post after I do this live. But anyway, so you guys know I sell high-end designer items. So the first thing I want to start off by saying is that selling high-end designer items is risky if you don't know what you're doing. It's very risky. It's not something like you walk into a thrift store, you see maybe like some True Religion jeans or like some Sevens that you think may be fake, but you're not sure, but you pick them up anyway because it's $1. That's not how sourcing designer items unfortunately works. Because usually by the time people figure out something that they bought is fake, it's too late and they already spent the money and now they have to throw it away. So sourcing designer items is something that is very difficult. I have sourced on OffersUp, and I have sourced on Craigslist, and I've sourced on LetGo. Those three, and Facebook Marketplace is actually the least shady of them all, in my opinion. But those three in particular, OffersUp, LetGo, and Craigslist. Craigslist being the shadiest of them all, I think, in my opinion. Leanne, if you tell people where to get designer items for cheap, why would they buy from resellers like us? I think you should just like listen to what I have to say, and then you guys can make your judgments, etc. Okay, so okay. Sorry, the chat distracted me for a second. Now I lost my train of thought. I'm just going to minimize the chat for a second so I can say what I have to say, and then I'll look at the chat, because if not, I'm going to get distracted if I have it next to me. So LetGo, OffersUp, places like that are really good to buy if you're good at authenticating, I guess. I personally don't have to go that avenue. LetGo, OffersUp, places like that are very hard, first of all, because you don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know who you're going to meet. At any given time, you can meet like a crazy person. I've never encountered anybody crazy, but I've heard some really crazy stories about some crazy people. And also, there's a lot of fakes. If you go on OffersUp and just search a designer, like everything for the most part will be fake except for certain things. That's that. Third, I don't source on those things because I don't need to source on those things. I first started sourcing with my brother's friends' moms is really how I started to really get into the business. My parents would talk about what I did. They'd be like, oh yeah, she resells designer items, whatever. And they're like, oh, I have a ton of designer items I need to sell. So they were like, can you come over and like, you know, buy from me? So that started happening. Then they started telling their friends, who started telling their friends, so I have people that call me on a daily basis and are like, hey, I got your number from, I don't even know who, somebody I don't even know. And I have designer items to sell. So honestly, truly, that is now how I get my designer items, is only from recommendations, really. I don't need a source on a different market because I've built this to the point that I get people recommend me and they contact me. Also, since I do move a heavy volume on Instagram, I also move a heavy volume on eBay, and I also have clientele in person. Consignment stores, not only here in Florida, but around the United States, have reached out to me through Instagram. Like I guess they follow me on Instagram since I've been growing the Instagram, being consistent and just working it like that they reach out to me. They reach out to me and they're like, hey, I have all these items that I can't move. Can you buy them at a bulk price? And I'll give them my price. And if they don't like my price, you don't have to sell to me. I don't really care. But usually they will, because it's usually stale inventory that they can't move that I can move in a day. So, all right, let me go to the chat now. Oh, there isn't that much. There isn't that much. Okay. So, not to say that Offers Up and Let Go isn't a good place to source. I think everybody knows what Offers Up and Let Go is. It's not a secret. I'm not exposing anything for the resellers that want to resell. It's not a secret. Offers Up and Let Go is a place people source. People like us source. People people source not just in designer bags. They source for clothes. They source for antiques. They source for army stuff. They source for a ton of stuff, a wide range of stuff. So I'm not giving away like an industry secret by saying that people use that to source, because it just is what it is. But the problem when you use things like that and you're not necessarily going through somebody that you know or somebody that has been referred to you is that you do then run into the problem that you need to know how to authenticate. And if you don't know how to authenticate, it's not going to happen for you. You're going to waste a lot of money. You're going to lose a lot of money, and you may even get in trouble with eBay for selling something fake or something along those lines. That's why it's hard to go through the route of that way without building the clientele, if you will, or having the recommendation out there. I actually, this past week, I got into an argument with somebody, and it was very aggressive, actually. So the lady sold me these sunglasses. Honestly, it was my bad. But see, like, these things happen to me, and I've been doing this for a long time. It was a lady that I had bought from a few times. Everything was fine. Everything worked out. She then started telling me like her story, and I don't know if it was made up. I don't know if it was true. I don't know. I'm the one to judge whether it was true or not true. She told me her story, and I felt bad. I felt bad, and I wanted to help her buy what I could buy from her. And I had bought them like 4 or 5 times from her, and I just wanted to I knew I could flip what she was selling because it was looking good. I had seen them once. I hadn't really paid attention. So I bought the items from her, and it was a very quick transaction. Honestly, this makes me sound really stupid, but I was really naive, and I felt bad. I felt genuinely bad, and I wanted to help her. So it was a really quick transaction. She's like, I have to go. She had the sunglasses in the bag, which the bag was perfect. It was fine. So when I actually took out the sunglasses, I asked her, I was like, oh, you don't have the boxes with you or the cases with you? And she was like, no, I'll bring them to you like another day. And I trusted her, stupidly. And so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So when I got in the car, I started like looking at the sunglasses, and they're in okay condition. She said they were like new without box. I should have looked at them better, but point of the story is that was definitely a bad judgment call on my part, and I will never do that again. I will never feel bad again, which it sucks because I'm sure there will be another situation where I could feel bad, but I will never let myself feel bad again because I got so taken advantage of. The sunglasses are okay. I'm probably going to give the Chanels to my mom. The Gucci's are really good. It's just they don't have the cases. So I called her and I was like, hey, when do you want to meet so you could give me the Boca? I was like, when do you want to meet so you can give me the cases? And she's like, I don't have the cases. Why do you think I have the cases? And I was like, because you told me you did. And she's like, well, I don't have them. And then it just like turned really sour. And I told her, I said, look, I said, please don't message me again to buy anything from you. And I blocked her. I had met this girl on Facebook. I had met this girl on Facebook Marketplace. So I had felt bad for her. And it was just one of those things. So this is what I'm saying, that you just really, really got to be careful. Because like even something like that, like not that I got scammed, because I didn't get scammed. Like the merchandise was authentic. Like it was just like, it was just messed up. It was shady. So what I'm saying is that there's shady people, even if you've worked with them before, like there's shady people. There's always going to be shady people. And it's not just on the regular apps that you find, like Offers Up. It could even be people like, I'm not even kidding you guys. I bought probably like 8 or 9 items from her, and everything has been awesome. It was just like this time. And I genuinely think she did need the money, and that's maybe why she was acting the way she was, and like she just wanted to sell it, and she didn't want me to like back out of the deal if she didn't have the boxes, which in the long run, she like really messed herself up, because I'm never going to buy from her again, and I'm never really going to talk to her again. So it was really a lose for her. It wasn't really that big of a deal for me. Like, yeah, it sucks. I lost somebody really good that sells to me, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. So that's one aspect of what I do. And another example, I have this one girl who, she's so loaded, you guys. She lives in Miami in a super beautiful, beautiful house. Because now I go to her house, since I've met her so many times at public places. Now I just go to her house. Oh my God, her house. Wow. Okay, anyway, her house is like goals. But she, like, every week she calls me and she's like, hey, I just bought a new bag. I'm selling this bag now. And I'm just like, bro, to have that much money that you could just like walk into Louis Vuitton and like buy something new and then just sell something you bought like a few months ago for like half price, like, like, my God, that's crazy. Also, it has a lot to do with the area you live in. I am very lucky because I live in South Florida. So sourcing for me is a lot easier than somebody that may live somewhere else. South Florida is a very wealthy place. There's people with a lot of money, like just to the point, there's people with a lot of money in South Florida. And it's a great market for designer items. There's actually one lady that, I don't remember what her Instagram name is, but she specializes, she's out of West Palm Beach. She is like what I want to do when I'm older. She is literally what I want to do. So she is like the Birkin queen. She is famous for Birkins. She buys and resells Birkins, and she's literally is like famous for that. I've actually had the honor of going to her location once with a friend that was buying a Birkin, and it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. There were like 30 Birkins on the wall, 30 or 40. Craziness. And that's what she does. She just specializes in Birkins and Hermes. Anything Hermes, she buys. She doesn't buy Louis Vuitton. She doesn't buy Chanel. She only buys Hermes. And she's actually like really famous. Her thing is Priv Porter. I don't know, something like that. But she is like really, she's like very well known. And now she has a townhouse in the Upper East Side or the Upper West Side of New York. And it's literally called the Birkin Dollhouse. Like, it's crazy. It's literally, yeah, she's the Birkin Whisperer, Connie. She is literally the Birkin Whisperer. I mean, I can't even, just talking about it, like makes me like, but first of all, I've always loved designer items. I was just talking to Eddie about it. When I was like 13 or 14, was it 13 or 14? It was my 14th birthday. I had like saved all my cash so I could buy something in Louis Vuitton, like anything. I didn't care what it was. It could have been a keychain. It could have been like a sheet of agenda paper. Like, I didn't care. So I saved a bunch of money, and I actually have it in my closet. And I bought a Louis Vuitton bangle. That bangle was like my life. Like I would wear it when I was 14 years old to like parties, and it was just like everything to me, that bangle. And I still wear it. I love it. It's a great piece. But that was the first designer item I ever bought with my money, was that bangle. And ever since then, like I was just in love. I was just absolutely in love with designer items. So I've always had a really strong love for designer items. Like I've said before, I would never show my designer collection that I have, just because I don't buy designer bags to show them in videos or to show them at all. I buy them because I genuinely appreciate the craftsmanship of them, and I love designer bags. Like I have a really big obsession with designer bags. Like you could ask Eddie, it's really bad. So that's kind of like where it stemmed from. Like this is what I genuinely enjoy doing, and what I hope I can do forever, and what I hope I can grow to a really big business. But anyway, can you screen share on this on live? How do you screen share? I don't know how to do this. I have to figure that out. I think that, who was it that did that? Because I wanted to screen share something, but I don't know how to do it. Okay. Well, anyway, so back to the sourcing the designer items. Connie, I bought my first Louis Vuitton at 28 and carried the crap out of it. Yeah, all my bags like get really good use, because I'm not one of those people that like doesn't use them. Like I use them. I use them all the time. When I go out, I use them. And my mom also has a kick-ass designer handbag collection. She actually has one piece that I am obsessed with. Every time I'm like, Mom, do you want to sell anything? And she's like, I don't sell my bags, Stephanie. You know that. It's not for sale. She's like, nothing of mine is for sale. That's what she says. She's like, don't even ask me. And my dad is like, he jokes around. He's like, one day we're going to come home and like our closet is going to be cleaned out. He's like, it's just going to be cleaned out. Like everything is going to be cleaned out. He's like, if she could sell every single thing in the house, she would. That's what my dad says. And my dad, like, he collects things too. He collects, he has like this collector's piece as a dining room table that nobody's allowed to eat on. And it's like, so everybody has their thing. You know what I mean? Like my dad collects, and his dining room table is like furniture he collects, which is a weird thing to collect. But so what I'm trying to say is everybody has something that they love, and I'm lucky enough that I get to make it a business now. So as far as authenticating, babe, you guys, give me 1 second, okay? Okay, this is a bag I just got in today, and I just want to show something real quick. I'm actually going to sell this on Instagram as soon as I get off this. So, because a lot of people ask me about authenticating. So first of all, this is a Neverfull. And it has the pink inside, which I am like debating whether I should just trade out my Neverfull and keep this one, or sell this one, because this has pink inside. So anyway, when you look at the leather, I don't have any fake bags, so it's not like I can compare it to anything. But if you Google right now, if you Google like fake Louis Vuitton bag, you will see that this is not this color when it gets worn. Like fake Louis Vuitton bags never lose their color. Real Louis Vuitton bags turn like this, have the straps turn like this. The leather turns a really nice brown, which some people don't like that. I'm like, I like the look of the leather like this. Like I prefer this over the newer one. That's my opinion. I just like the look of it. But anyway, so that. Another big thing on the Neverfull. I'm only going to do the Neverfull because this is really all I have in stock to show right now. On the Neverfull in particular, you guys see this inside thing? So when it's a real Neverfull, on fake ones, it goes all the way up. You see how this doesn't go all the way up? It goes all the way up and all the way back. That's not what you want on a Neverfull. So it's like small things. Neverfulls take me like very little time to authenticate. And then you have the date code. The date code on the Neverfull is always going to be here. It's always going to be there with the 2 letters and then the 4 numbers. But it's always going to be there, and it's going to be very hard to see the last number because the stitching is so tight. So that's another thing to look at. Also, the Louis Vuitton, the little clips right here, the little clips. These, a lot of the time, how you can spot fake bags off the bat is the hardware that they use. Because a lot of the time, the fake people that, and it's not just China, you guys. It's not just China that makes fake bags. It's also California. I've heard of a lady that makes fake Birkins. I don't know if she does Louis Vuitton, but also California, they're made too. So it's not just China. The hardware, you can also tell on it. That's a very key thing you want to check out. This little tag on the inside also, you want to take a look at. And then the stitching on Louis Vuitton, I believe, don't quote me on this, you guys can look it up. You can eyeball it because the stitching is supposed to be, I think it's like 9 stitches per inch, I think it is. I don't know what it is, but there's a measurement that the stitches are supposed to be apart from each other. And there's also in the Louis Vuitton inside, this, I'm just saying, like, if you're a beginner and you want to try this, this little emblem here where it says Louis Vuitton, the L is supposed to measure a certain thing. Like, these are supposed to measure a certain thing. So that's also if you want to really, really try to authenticate it. Oh, it came with this too in here. Oh, and by the way, guys, receipts and all this shit can be faked. So I never go off of that. I never really like sell a bag. Like, it has the receipt. Like, it's real. Like, no, I never go off that. But anyway, so that's just a little authentication tip for the Louis Vuitton in particular, the Neverfull. I get so many questions of people wanting to start. Hi, Amy, the Thrifting Gypsy, where my sunglasses were from. I get a lot of questions and comments about people really wanting to start, but they're nervous, which is totally normal because it is something that it is expensive. You know, it's not like if you flop, like if you buy something that's fake in the designer part of it, you're going to be out like, I don't know, like anywhere from $2 to $5 to $6 to $700. Like, it can get really out of hand. So there are so many free guides online. I can't even tell you. Oh, Amy, yes, she did. She bought a bag from me. She bought, which one did you bought the keep all, right? Was it a keep all? I think it was a keep all. It was a really nice keep all. It was beautiful. But anyway, you want to be sure on these things. There's so many free guides online that you can just pop onto and learn about it. You know what I mean? Like, you can just learn and watch videos. There's so many YouTube videos. And also a really good one, a really good resource that I sometimes use. I use for my more expensive bags if I'm selling it on eBay. Oh, thank you, Miners Treasures, Engaged AF. I actually just bought another shirt like this that says Latina AF. But yeah, there's lots of free resources online. Also, another good resource, all you have to do for, it's called Real Authentication. I use them for the higher end bags, like typically Neverfulls, anything that's going to be sold on eBay that's over like a certain threshold. I get the paperwork with it and I take a picture of it for the listing just to like protect myself, because I've heard some crazy stories with people selling designer items on eBay and then they get scammed when it gets returned to them. So I don't want any of that to happen to me. So for certain things, I do get the authentication paperwork from Real Authentication is what they are called. I heard that they were maybe going to be working with eBay or something, but anyway, they're super fast. I send them in my pictures and they get me a certificate within like, I don't know, an hour or two. Like they're really, really good. So that's another really good resource. Like if you're not sure, I always tell people to just send it into there because it's just the safest bet, especially if you're going to sell it on eBay, is to send it, or not even just them, send it into any authentication place. And it's all done through pictures and it's very fast, and it's fast and it's easy. So sending it in to get it authenticated is always the best way to go. Look up the guides. There's certain ways, I don't know, like I can just, when I am in front of a fake bag, like I know, you know, like even the really good fakes. So also, it's just instinct. I don't know, like it's so hard to answer that, but definitely the best places I would recommend if you are just starting off is definitely going to have to be the secondhand market, just because that's really the only resource until you can build your clientele wherever you are. It's definitely going to be your Offers Up, is going to be your Let Go, is going to be your Craigslist, is going to be your Facebook Marketplace for local trades. I don't like buying bags online just because I like seeing everything that I'm going to purchase, because I like to check the condition, I like to check the quality, and of course to make sure it's authentic. But I don't like buying bags online. I think there's a lot of people that scam out there, especially like on Mercury and apps like that freak me the hell out. So I stay away from those. I will not get around those. So I wouldn't recommend that, just because I have never, and I won't, like, I just won't use it. So I don't recommend that. Connie, talking about fakes. I saw a lady on Poshmark selling fakes, reported her. It took 2 whole days to get her kicked off. Yeah. People sell fakes on Poshmark all the time. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. I mean, people are just selling fakes because they think they can just get away with it, and it's not okay. It's not okay. The way I think of it is like, if I were the designer at that company, like, how would I feel if they were knocking off my designs to make a profit? Like, I would be really mad. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a good feeling. That's not cool. That's really not cool. Then she was on Poshmark the next day with a new name using the same number. Yeah, like, I don't understand how they can't, like, actually find the people and like arrest them. Like sometimes when I want to be really petty, like this is so bad. This is like, I will literally message people on Offers Up and report them, and like on Let Go, and on Let Go you can review people before you meet them. So like I will review them like with a 1-star and be like, selling fakes, beware. Or like I will message them on Offers Up and be like, you should be ashamed of yourself selling fakes. Like, yeah, sometimes I get really annoyed and like I do it. So I don't like when people sell fakes even though they let you know it's fake. Yeah, like just don't sell fakes. Like just don't. Renee. I had someone come into my brick and mortar to sell my fake Louis Vuitton. Thanks, but no. To sell you fake Louis Vuitton. Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah, it's like, what do you think? Like, I'm going to sell this? Like, no. And some people get so aggressive, you guys. That's another thing. Talking about safety when meeting up with people, especially when you don't know them or they're not recommended to you. That can be pretty scary. Actually, the city of Pembroke Pines, which is one city over me, listen how cool this is. My aunt actually told me about this. So the city of Pembroke Pines wants people to be like safe when meeting online and doing transactions like in person. So they have turned their police lobby that you can meet in their lobby, and it's called a safe zone meeting. And they're like, the police department tells you if somebody doesn't want to meet with you inside the police department, like obviously it's because, or like is weary of it, like do not do business with them. Like obviously they're hiding something, or obviously they're nervous about something. So I think that's really cool. I don't know if any other cities have done it, but the city of Pembroke Pines has actually done that. Like they allow people to go into their lobby, do their exchange, and it's a safe place. So I really like that. I appreciate that. Anytime I have a pickup actually in Pembroke Pines, I am definitely going to do that because that's really nice. Oh my God, Connie. She was very aggressive. The lady came to my closet and called me every name in the book before I blocked her. Yeah. So what I was saying was that people that sell fakes that are trying to pass them off as real, like I have literally met one time, I think I said this story. No, this may be another story. This happened to me multiple times. Like when something is fake, either you'll get this will be the two responses you get when something is fake. So really all I do is I'll be like, they'll be like, oh, they'll show me the bag and I'll say, this is fake. Like I just look at them and I'm like, this is fake. And they're like, oh, it's fake? Really? It is? And then they'll start like making up a story and I'm just like, yeah, this is fake. And then I will leave, like quietly leave, like just be like, all right, bye. And then you get the other reaction. I have actually had this reaction happen to me in person as well as on Instagram. One time this girl was trying to sell me some stuff on Instagram and I was like, that's fake. Like, why are you trying to sell this to me? And she was like, are you kidding me? Like she started calling me so many names, just like that girl did to Connie, just like that girl Connie, just like that girl did to Connie in the chat. She started calling me all these names and like being all mad and I was just like, girl, like calm down, okay? Like calm down. So that was kind of weird. And then like in person, I'll have some people be like, one girl, she shows me the bag and I'm like, this is fake. And I was like, this is fake. I was like, you just wasted, like, cause I was so mad that day that I drove super far to meet her. Not like I drove like 30 minutes, but still like there was traffic, like it was during traffic time. And I was like, you just wasted my time. Like I literally looked at her and said that. And she just stared at me and was like, well, you know, and she just like starts going off saying all these bad words and like, I'm just trying to make a living. And I was like, you're making a living lying to people? Like you are literally lying to my face, telling me this is real when we both know this is fake. And she was just like, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, these are good fakes. And I was like, I don't care if they're fake. Like they're fake. Like I'm not buying them. I was like, you shouldn't sell them as real. Like you should sell them as fake. Like if you're gonna sell them, like sell them as fake. Like don't say that they're real. Like that's so messed up. Also, another really good way that you can tell something is fake. So on Louis Vuitton boxes, unless it's coming like from a pawn shop or something, and even then maybe, I don't know, like I would never buy something. If I see a box, this is like the weirdest thing, you guys. Like it's the little details that really will save your ass in the end. If you see on the little Louis Vuitton box, so let's pretend this is the box, right? This is the little box. If you see a sticker mark, either a full-on sticker sticked on or a sticker peeled off, it's not real. It's not real. It's a fake. It's a fake. Stay away. Leave. Tell them off. Do what you got to do. It's not real. Louis Vuitton doesn't put stickers on their boxes. They just don't. So that's fake. Another thing, plastic. That's the most fucking annoying thing. Plastic or like weird wraps or like weird tags. Anything like that, stay away. Stay away. So it's like little things like that that can automatically prevent. Yeah. Yeah, she goes, but they're good fakes. That's literally what she said to me. And I said, but they're fake. Like, they are fake. I was just, sometimes, like, no, I can't. Then there was this other guy, okay. I have, like, some funny stories. I should write a book about meeting up with people. Like, I tell Eddie these stories, and he's just like, this is what you do all day. So then there was this other guy, right? He comes out of his house. He comes out of his house. The only reason I went there was because his house was on the middle. I didn't even know it was his house because I would never recommend somebody meeting at a house, but his house was next to a store because it was in Hialeah. His house was next to the store we were meeting at. Like we were meeting at a store in front of the store and his house was right now. Like I saw him walk out of his house. I was just like, this is weird. At first I was like, this is very bizarre. So like at that point I was like, this is weird. So whatever. So he walks to the store. He's like, obviously I'm not going to walk to his house. He walks to the store and he has this stuff like in a Sedano's bag. Like Sedano's is like a Publix or like a supermarket, like a Hispanic supermarket. He has it like in a Sedano's bag. And And I'm like, okay, well, maybe he just didn't like obviously want to walk out with a Louis Vuitton bag in the middle of, you know, crossing, you know, in the street and stuff. He brings out the box, the Louis Vuitton box was wrapped in like this weird paper. Like, you know how like when things come from China, they're like wrapped weird? Well, they were wrapped. So then he undoes it. The box has all these stickers on it, okay? The box is like totally bootleg. And I'm just staring at this guy. I'm just like, so just to like entertain, I'm like, and this is real? Like you know, just for shits and giggles, I'm like, this is real? And he's like, oh, yes, yes. This is original Louis Vuitton. So I'm like, this is not real. I was like, this is not real. Like, I was like, this is not real. And he was like, so genuinely disappointed. And he was like, oh, well, like, and I'm just staring at him like, all right, bye. Like, bye. See you never. And then I go to his page and he has all these fakes listed. And I'm just like on his one page, he only had like a few things listed. I was looking at 2 wallets, and then I go to another page that I didn't even realize, I did more research, had the same pictures he was using, and it was his other page, and it was all fakes. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So now that's why I don't like meeting on offers up. Also, like, consignment stores are really good places to go. Sometimes you guys never know, even for clothes. Like, sometimes, like, just don't be embarrassed. I'm never embarrassed about it. And it's hard for me because I'm a very awkward person. I am very like, I don't know, I'm just awkward. I'm like, in person, I'm an awkward person. And I may not look awkward on video, but I'm awkward. So I make situations more awkward than they need to be. I'm probably one of the most awkward people you'll ever meet if you guys ever meet me. But then like I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm not cool to meet or like nice to meet, but like I'm awkward. I'm just an awkward person since I was in high school. You know, like the worst thing for me was walking into a party. If I didn't know somebody, I wouldn't go to the party. Like, not that if I didn't know somebody that I could go with to the party, like I would never walk into a party alone. Like that's how I'm awkward in that sense. So wait, let me see what Renee says. She's cracking me up. Oh, the thrifting gypsy, Amy's met me. No, like, I'm not awkward. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm just awkward. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. When we took over this is from Renee. When we took over our store, our store, their guy came in screaming, wanting his fake Birkins back or payment for them from the previous owner. I had thrown them away. I offered to call the cops for him. That's funny. That's like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. But anyway, like, don't be awkward. If I can manage to not be awkward, then you guys can manage to not be awkward. If you guys just walk into like a consignment store and are like, hey, you know, I buy in bulk. Do you have anything you want to move? You don't understand how many times I've bought in bulk because they just want to move something. They're like, oh yeah, like this has been here for a year. I just want to get rid of it and move it. It works sometimes. Sometimes they'll just look at you and be like, what? Like, no, get out of here. Actually, this is kind of funny. So we put an offer. This just reminded me of reselling. So I'm going to share this story. So we put an offer. Babe, you want to say the story of what happened with our offer? No? It's funny. He says it's embarrassing, but I'm going to say it anyway. So we put an offer on this townhouse. It needed a lot of work. It needed like new floor, new bathroom, new patio. Like, it needed a shitload of work, you guys. And they had it listed for like $270 or something like that. So we put in a $240 offer just because it needed a lot of work. And the guy, the realtor of the other people, emails back, literally just emails back. My client is insulted by your lowball offer. We will not be countering. That's literally what the email said, you guys. I don't know. It reminded me of reselling. Like, when people on eBay send lowball offers, I was like, oh my God, I'm that person. So I don't know. I just thought it was funny. It reminded me of of like reselling and like when we get low offers. And but the house for real, like it needed a ton of stuff. It didn't even have stainless steel appliances. Like no, we thought, because then the realtor on top of that was like, just make an offer, we'll take anything. Like that's how he was making it sound. So we were like, okay, well, like this is what it's worth to us. Like I don't think that wasn't a low ball. Look, you guys, it needed new kitchen completely. The kitchen was disgusting. On the stairs, it belonged to like it had like a handicap ramp, and there was going to be holes on the stairs that we were going to have to replace the entire floor. We were going to have to replace the floor anyway of the whole townhouse, just because we needed to replace that floor and we couldn't match the floor. So it needed that. It needed new appliances. I mean, it was crazy. Like I could show you guys, you know, like my realtor literally forwarded me the email. She was cracking up. Like we were dying. It was just so funny. It needed so much work that it wasn't worth what they were asking. And he was like, and then he like insulted the realtor and was like, you should look at comps in the neighborhood. And she was like, I did pull comps. The one that sold for a little bit under what you're asking had new bathroom, had new kitchen, had new this. And he was like, well, it didn't have a lake. And we were like, we don't need a lake. We'll just take the updates. Like, you know, it just so happens this one had a lake. But the guy was nuts. The guy was literally nuts. And she was like, there was another one that sold with a lake that was in better condition than yours for less. Like, so they were just out of control. I think what happened was it was in a part of an estate that got left to like family members, and the family members aren't in a rush to sell. So they don't care if they have to wait like 3 years to sell it for the price that they want. I think that's what happened. But anyway, the story reminded me of like tying in lowball offers with, you know, like what we go through sometimes. But I don't think it was a lowball offer. But see, like maybe what some people think is a lowball offer isn't a lowball offer to them. So that's how I'm going to start looking at lowball offers from now on. I'm going to be like, Stephanie, remember that time that you lowballed that guy? So that's that. But anyway, does anybody have any questions about anything I talked about in the video? I want to just answer some questions because I do get this question a lot, and I really don't know what else to say about the authenticating because I can't. It's hard for me to sit here and explain what to look for. I explained as best as I can, but there's just so many different styles that there's different things to look into and a lot of styles. In my opinion, vintage bags are pretty hard to authenticate, especially if they don't have a date code. Like that gets a little hairy sometimes. Jordan, $140,000 would have been a low ball. Yeah, that would have been a low ball, right? And the guys, like, they haven't had one offer in 2 months. I'm like, yeah. First of all, nobody wants to live there. We were going to live there because Eddie does construction and so does my dad, and we were going to redo it. The guy was nuts, honestly. We thought, like, this is us the whole day. We're like, oh, we're going to get that. We're going to get that. We're going to redo this. We're going to redo that. I'm there pinning away on Pinterest, just, like, pinning the whole townhouse. I have the townhouse in my head because I thought it was a fair offer. I thought they were going to counter 250 is what I thought. And we were okay with that. That's why we countered 240. And then freaking they come back with that. Like we were in shock. We didn't even know what to say because like the realtor called 4 times seeing if we were gonna put the offer. Like I don't know what offer they wanted, but whatever. Connie, you are the bomb. Keep it up. You just have to do your research. Yeah, I'm done for now. It's not happening now. It's not happening now. Beauty lover. Hi, Steph. You can build a new townhouse for that. Lakes have gators. True. Very true. That's a true statement. But we're done for now. But if anybody has any questions about authenticating or about where to purchase the designer items, just send them in and I'll try to answer as best as I can. But I do get that question. Reese, he thought he was on $1 Million Listing. For real. He thought it was like Flipper. I don't even know. I don't even have words anymore for the housing market. It's crazy. I have laughed. I have cried. It's funny. It's really funny. We walked into a townhouse the other day to like go see the townhouse. It was the most awkward. Like this was awkward. I wasn't even acting awkward. So the lady opens the door and she's like, "Who are you?" And my realtor is like, "We have an appointment at 5:15. It's 5:15." And she's like, "Oh, I thought it got canceled." And she was like, "No, I don't know why you would think that. It didn't get canceled. And she was just like, oh, well, I guess come in. So we were like, okay. So we start looking at the townhouse. Like, it's all messy. Like, everything is everywhere, which is fine. So then we go upstairs to go see the rooms. Like, I guess her husband was awkwardly sitting on the bed. So, like, we don't know if we go in. Like, we don't know what to do. The townhouse was super cramped. Everything was super cramped. I almost fell down the stairs. It was just a really bad situation. So the guy is laying on the bed, okay? Like, he's not even just, like, sitting on the bed like a normal person. He's not, like, you know, like, there's different ways that wouldn't have made it that awkward, okay? The guy is laying on the bed on his side like this, watching the TV. I looked at Eddie, and I was like, and, like, my realtor, like, she, like, gives no fucks. She just walks in and she's like, I'm like, there's, like, a closet. So we have to go past the bed to go see the closet. And, like, the guy, okay, is laying there like this, watching TV, doesn't even acknowledge us. And, like, our realtor saw us, like, hesitant, like, did we go see the closet? And then she's like, go see the closet. And we're like, okay. So we, like, go in front of the TV where the guy is watching to go see the closet. It was just so funny. We were crying. Like, I'm about to start crying laughing. It was just so funny. It was hilarious. Clearly we didn't even put an offer on that house. Because then we're standing outside talking and we're like, where did guest park? Like, we're looking, like, at guest parking because there's only 2 parkings in front of the townhouse. And so then they awkwardly come outside because then they were leaving. And so then they come outside and they're just staring at us because, like, we're still outside talking, you know? And so my realtor's like, where do people park? And she's like, what do you mean, where do people park? Just like that. My realtor's like, where do people park that come over to see you? And she's like, oh. Like, she stares at us like we're insane for asking that. And she's like, you park outside the community on the grass. There's no guest parking. And my realtor's like, there's no guest parking. You have to park on the side of the street. And she's like, yeah, on the swell. We were like, let's get the hell out of here. We left. It was just, that was a funny experience. We've had some really funny experiences. Connie, you should have sat down and said, I love this show. Yeah, like, I will not. Yes, he had clothes on. He had clothes on. He did, guys. He had clothes on. But it was just so awkward. Like, he wasn't just sitting on the bed or, like, even sitting in the bed. Like, he was like, I'll never get that image out of my head. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe it's not that funny to you guys, but it's fucking hilarious to me. Like, I'm dead. I told my dad the story. My dad didn't even have words. He didn't have words for what I was saying. I don't know, like, he was like, they park at the end of the road on the swell. I don't know, and then we drove out and we saw a bunch of cars parked there. It was the most bizarre neighborhood. It was just bizarre. It's very bizarre. We've had some really, really weird encounters in the whole buying process. This has been going on since April. And hey, my name is Mike and I like long walks on the beach. And his wife, like, honestly, if my husband were laying on the bed, like, when people came to, I'd be like, get the fuck up. Like, come downstairs. You know what I mean? But, like, she didn't even care. Like, and mind you, we're all squeezed. It's 5 of us squeezed into this tiny room. And I'm, like, trying to get out of this situation. I'm, like, backing up and I'm like, whoa, whoa. And I almost fall down the stairs. It was super dramatic. We left after that. It was so bad. Yeah, those are stories you tell your kids. Yeah. Yeah. And then we tried to be part of this program. We didn't know the requirements. We tried to be a part of this program. This was a while ago. Because we thought it was like for first-time home buyers and it wasn't. And then there was a rat in the conference area and then we have some good stories. But anyway, that's stories for another day. The shit that happens to me is just, it doesn't happen to other people. It doesn't. It doesn't happen. Like the things that happen to me and like it just the things that happen to me and my dad are so out of the ordinary crazy that they just wouldn't happen to other people. Don't ask me why, since we were little. Like the weirdest things happened to us. Especially my dad. So anyway, does anybody have any questions about sourcing designer items and anything like that? So I can answer them and hopefully help you guys out. Look, you guys, it is risky, but every business has risk. I think that if you want to get into it, get into it. Start small, start with little things here and there. Just get into it, you guys. I mean, I see so many people want to get into it and so many people don't. And I think there's room for everyone. I know like there's so many people out there that are like, why do you share things? Why do you make videos? There's so much room for everyone. So much room for everyone. I don't know. That's just my thought. Maybe people have different thoughts. But I recommend it. If you guys want to get into it, start doing more research. There's so many guides online that you can look at. There's so many questionnaire, like little things, you know what I mean? Like, what are those called? Little forums. There's just so much. I learned so much, like every day I learned so much from just reading different forums. Like I love purse forums. Which other forum is really, there's a good one on Yogi's Closet. Like I just like reading the forums just to know, because like there's always something new coming out, there's always something new to pay attention to, and so I'm always just on the forums browsing. And sometimes I jump into the forums also to answer and help people that I see on the forums. Like if somebody's like, hey, how does this look, or how does that look, like I jump in on the forum sometime too, you know, to like all help each other out. Jordan, when you buy in bulk from consignment stores, how much do you typically spend? That's the thing. When you're buying in bulk, like the designer items, you have to be okay with spending money to make money. So that means that you have to be okay with dropping $1,000 there and then knowing in your head that you're going to make the $1,000 back plus another 1,000. That's how I look at it. So when I drop the money, there's certain thresholds that I will not want to go under. Because since it is bigger risk and it is a bigger investment, I'm not going to buy something just to make $10 off of it. Like if I'm buying something, it's to make 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. It's to make big profit, since I'm investing big money is another thing you want to keep in mind. Because if you're buying something and you're buying it for $200 and you're going to sell it for $300, or not even, if you're buying something for $200 and you're going to sell it for $250, are you really going to make money? Like, what's the point of spending the $200 to sell it for $250 after fees, after shipping, after all that? Like, what is the point? Like, there's no point in buying that, in my opinion. There's no point in investing $200 if you're just going to make $25 out of it. No point. No point at all. The Thrifting Gypsy, Amy, I have learned so much from watching you and other YouTubers. It's how I was able to leave my job and be my own boss. Thank you so much for putting yourself out there and sharing your knowledge. Thank you so much, Amy. By the way, guys, Amy, actually, she gave her notice at her job and she's going to be full-time reseller, living her dream. So fantastic. I keep telling her to start a YouTube channel because her adventures are going to be so awesome. They're going to be so awesome. So that's so exciting. Anytime somebody goes full-time to start their own business, I'm like, yes, yes. Oh, thank you, Connie. Jordan, I have a big girl day job so I can experiment. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing at all. So if nobody has any more questions, I think I'm going to hop off, go hang out with Eddie and the dogs maybe. Oh, shit, I still have to list that monogram Neverfull for sale. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm kind of tired. It's kind of late. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. No, I'm going to do it today. Maybe it'll sell overnight if I get lucky. But if anybody has any questions, just send them in now or send them in the comments, or you can always send me a message, whatever works for you guys. Good night, Reese. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope this video was helpful. I tried to share as much as I could just because I get this question a lot and it doesn't make sense for me just to address it individually when I know a lot of people have this question. So that's why I decided to make a video and to go live doing it so that I could interact and see what was happening in the chat. But that pretty much wraps it up, guys. Honestly, in my opinion, in any business, like even if you're selling collectibles of some sort or art products or cars, like you're always going to have your contacts that know you resell kind of thing. So it's important no matter what you're doing. Like that's why I tell people like this, it doesn't just apply for bags. This can apply for anything. Like you always have to have your contacts, especially if you have people in your life that donate to Goodwill. Like tell them you'll give them $10 for the bag of clothes or something. You know what I mean? Like if they're going to donate it anyway, have them give it to you and you just give them a little something. You know what I mean? So I just said that a lot. You know what I mean? But really, do you know what I mean? You just have to think outside of the box, honestly. You have to think outside of the box so you can get where you want to be and who knows, maybe start something new. So that's all I have to say, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. If you didn't catch this video live and you have a question, just leave it down below in the comments. And thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great night. Tomorrow I'm doing wedding stuff literally all day. I'm taking the day off to do wedding stuff with my mom is my day. So I don't think I'm going to vlog just because it probably won't be that exciting. Honestly, to this point, like wedding stuff is a lot. So, but I'm excited. We're going to actually get my mom's dress tomorrow and I'm getting my wedding dress tomorrow. I'm getting it for the first time. I'm trying it on. I'm so excited. But anyway, guys, I will see you in my next video. Until then, have a great night. Bye, guys.